What up, Geeky Fire May here, and this is my last minute uh, off. All this stuff is coming on top of my head right now. Nothing was planned out. I was here at the office and nothing to do, so I'm gonna do a quick live stream while I still got good. While I still got a good camera, and I could go live and good internet and shit. So yeah, nothing's planned out. So sorry for the lack of quality. That's all top of my head right now. So this will be the UFC MMA 2020 recap. Um, so yeah, let's start with the fight of the year. My fight of the years. Could we just get rid of that title? Like, can we just like? There's no one fight of the year. They're all so good. Like, they all deserve it. So that's on top of my head right now. Joanna versus Wei Lee. Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker. What's the other one? I think Shane Burgos versus that dude. Shit. The guy knocked out. The guy got knocked out by Jeremy Stevens. Forgot his name. Figueiredo versus Mexican dude. Fuck. This live. Everything is all on the top of my head. Moreno. And then I put Otto and Jan in there too. So yeah, man, I don't know. I have to go with. To me, I had to go with Joanna and Wei Lee, because that one was like it was just straight back and forth, and the Poirier fight, there was this times when it went down a little bit, but like I think the Poirier fight, when it was exciting, when it has this peak, the peak was higher than Wei Lee and Wei Lee and Joanna, but when it but it was not as consistent as Wei Lee and Joanna, and then for the Yan fight, that was pretty back and forth, kind of up until Yan almost finished all of the first round, and then like after the first round, it was back and forth up until Otto gas and Yan just put the beating on him, and it was back and forth up until that finish. Shane Burgos and dude got knocked out by Jeremy Stevens. Is it? Forget dude's name. But that was a good fight, but it didn't have enough rounds. And did Burgos get finished in that fight? I think he might have did. And then with the Figueiredo one, that was a good fight, but personally for me, I did not enjoy like the commentating was pretty bad in my opinion, and it kind of took away from the fight a little. This is a pretty good fight, but they were overselling Moreno in my opinion. Like, to me, the Figueiredo's power won the fight, and one reason why like it's did not win, in my opinion, over the Wei Lee. That fifth round kind of died down a little bit, and second, the fouls kind of took away from it. Like, granted, Wei Lee, it's a girls' fight, so there's less chances of fouls. But yeah, that grind shot kind of took away from it for a little bit. But yeah, that I think us clearly giving to Figueiredo. His power won the fight. I think Moreno might got a little bit more volume, but uh, Figueiredo landed the hardest shots. And Moreno, the fourth round, like he started looked like he was gonna could finish Figgy, and I believe he went away from that head kick. If Figgy keeps leaning that direction, so like I think had he continued that head kick, he might have gotten Figgy with it a little bit. But kicks are exhausting, especially when you're throwing lead kicks repeatedly. That's just awkward for the body. So yeah, um, all those were good fights. If I had to rank them order, I had to give it to JJ. And then, just because of the commentary, I put Figgy at number 3 and Dustin at number 2. And then Jan, number 4, and Burgos at 5. There's probably other fights that was better than 4 and 5, but this is on top of my head right now. So, yeah. Plus, there's some fights I missed. Next, let's talk COVID. Yeah, with COVID, took away Khabib versus Tony. Yeah, I know it sucks. My heart is broken. Never got to see that fight, but let's talk about Khabib. Retires. It was pretty sad. I made a 10-minute video of that. And yeah, if you see why that video, you'll see why I have not been recording because of like shitty internet at home. So yeah, Khabib just dominates Justin, and based on based on what Oliveira did to Tony, I'm pretty sure Khabib would just fuck Tony up even worse. And yeah, and based on like what he can do with his stand up, like yeah, Khabib mechanically it looks terrible, but mechanics is only one part of the game. Like, yeah, I seen guys whose shadow box looks prettier than me, and I still beat them up. And vice versa, there's probably guys out there, those guys out there who like beat me in sparring, who looks trash. His punches looks like trashier than mine, so mechanics is only one aspect of fighting, and yeah, I think he would be in Tony on the feet after he uses his wrestling, and if Tony doesn't get finished on the ground, then yeah, Khabib would take the fight anywhere he wants. So yeah, kind of sucks, never happened, but yeah, hindsight, Tony Khabib would just destroy Tony. Sorry about Tony, like poor Tony. Okay, let's go about the downfall. Biggest downfall of the year. There's Tony, Reyes, and Santos. Fuck, Santos. You gotta feel bad for Santos, man. Like, he was the guy who beat John Jones. He beat John Jones with one knee, possibly no knees. He beat John Jones and came back and just got destroyed by Glover Teixeira, dominating on the ground. It's like, you went from neutralizing John Jones wrestling and beating him to losing to Glover Teixeira. It's just so sad. I feel so sad for the guy. Like, all those guys, downfall of the years. I feel like I don't know who I feel more sad for, Santos or Tony. Like Tony is a bigger draw, bigger house name, but shit, Santos just went from being the greatest ever to losing to Clover Teixeira in a way you would never suspect, considering his performance against John Jones and his jiu-jitsu background. Like, oh, you just did not expect that. And yeah, like Cruz, they said it pretty good. When you got knee injuries and when you're injured, grappling is the last thing you can work on. And I don't know if it's just his game, his training camp, or Clover is just that good on the ground. But yeah, fuck. I feel bad for him. And Tony, I was just sad, straight up sad. Like when Gagey beat him, I was like, oh damn. And then that loss to Oliveira, that was pretty sad. I feel pretty sad for Tony. That freaking arm though, man, it's like, oh god damn. The problem with Tony is like his skill set was heavily dependent upon his physical abilities, and like as he aged, it was like that's not a that's not a way, that's not something that will last you a long time. And like granted, like it lasted for long in a division where like age matters, youth matters. He lasts pretty long, but then once he got old and those physical abilities starts to decline, he had nothing left but his toughness. You know, his that was all he had left. Nothing left but toughness, and yeah, it just sucks. But his style. It would have been interesting to see if he fought Habib when they were young, because I believe Tony, like the same Tony who beat Edson Barboza, is not the same Tony who fought, Lee or Pettis. Like all those injuries stack up, and on top of that, he had a knee surgery that would end most people's career, which I think it did. And his that was a decline of major decline, along with his age and shit. Like the Pettis fight, I don't even think that was the best version of him, and he went and won that, and then shit just couldn't work out with Habib. It's kind of sad. If Conor loses to Poirier, I could see Conor fighting Tony. But Tony just never had that big fight. Felt kind of bad for him, and he's very old. Like he was 28 when he won the Ultimate Fighter. That's old. Like like at the time he was a nobody too. So like by the time he became a draw or a title contender, like he was already getting up there in age. Especially for a guy whose skill set is heavily dependent on his physical abilities over his technical abilities. So yeah, I feel kind of bad for Tony. Shit sucks. So plus the way COVID is affecting training. Fuck, we don't even know. But I don't want to jump off topic. And down to Dominic Reyes. Feel pretty sad for him too. He went from beating John Jones, and basically he made John Jones move up the division. And Jones moving up a division to me is just saying, hey, if I'm gonna lose, I better get compensated, and the only way I'm getting paid more is if I go up to heavyweight. So I think if Jones would dominate Reyes and Santos easily, he might be staying at light heavyweight still. But he was you could say he's on like a 2-fight losing streak. He lost to Santos, in my eyes, and most people's eyes, he lost to Reyes. Granted, I don't really feel bad for Reyes that he lost that fight because your coaches know the game. Your coaches, they train MMA, they know the game. If he took that 5th round off, and he should have just Reyes clearly won the first 3 rounds, but you know the game. You don't do that to John Jones. You don't run away. You don't try to run away from a title fight thinking you won, because yeah, you did, but you know how the judges are. Your coaches should know better and should have made you go out there to try to finish John Jones in the 5th round. Like, granted, in a fair world, he should have did what he did in the 5th round, but fuck, you know how the judges are. You can't do that against the champion, against the A side. You can't do that. And he just, yeah, it's a smart game plan, but not when you know how corrupting judges are in combat sports. So yeah, he might have gotten finished in the 5th round had he tried to fight more, but fuck it. I don't really feel as bad. I didn't feel bad when I was watching because I knew what was gonna happen. Jones won the 4th, and I knew that Jones was gonna win the fight because corrupted judges. So I don't feel bad because he fought that way. But in a sense, he has a big downfall. He was a guy who everybody said Jones lost to, made Jones run up a weight class because, hey, if I'm gonna lose, I better get compensated for losing. So smart business move for Jones. But hey, man, yeah, Jan, good job for Jan Blachowicz. I love it when guys like that win, man. He was just like a few years ago, like he was just another loss of getting cut. And he stacked up a few wins and won the title, man. Like, it's not as rocky as Bisbane and Robbie Lawler, but it's one of those rocky moments, and man, I just love it when that happens. It's like those people, they got beat up along the way, and not everybody gets a taste of gold, and it's glad to see when somebody who got beat up along the way, who gave up their life for it. It's happy. I don't know. I'm happy when I see one of those guys make it, get at least a taste of gold. Will he hold it for long? Probably not. But being champion for one night, hey man, it's not every fighter gets to say that. So good for y'all. Was jumping up a little bit, but I pretty much just ran over Habib. Habib's basically done. He ain't coming back. The meeting with Dana White basically just says with Connor and Dustin. I have not checked if it's official yet, but I've seen sources of saying that that's for the title belt. If that's official, that basically means Dana White with meeting did not go as planned. Dana White's meeting for Habib did not go as planned. Let's go knockout of the year. Hookling Buckley, butchering his name, probably. That one won fighter of the year. To me, it was a good knockout, but it's like I'm not excited for it because yeah, it was a good knockout, but who was it? Who did he knock out? and it doesn't show anything that, to me, it doesn't show that, oh, this guy is a viable contender. You know, he's gonna be, yeah, he got power. He can knock people out. He's flashy, but like, is he just a better version of Uriah Hall? Who's, I don't even know, like, who has he fought? Like, you know, to me, knockout of the year also has to be based on who they knocked out, and yeah, that's why I like Kevin Holland. I put Kevin Holland up there because like every time you see a knockout from the ground, from the bottom up, besides an up kick, that has to be up there, because how often do you see a person get punched from the bottom and get knocked out? You only saw it once with Nico Price, and Kevin Holland, the way he did to who he did, uh, you know, a former viable contender. Yeah, Jacare can't take a shot anymore, and Jacare's been a lot of wars. He's old, but hey, man, Jacare, a jiu-jitsu master like Jacare on top of you, like, and you knock him out, like, that's crazy. Like, you just knocked out a jiu-jitsu master who was on top of you. Granted, Jacare, his UFC career, he did not have a lot, like, towards the end, it was mostly striking, but he was able to take Holland down, and, like, he couldn't utilize his jiu-jitsu, and, that knockout was like, ugh, I put that one as KO of the year just because, like, that's rare, and he knocked out like a guy who could have possibly been a contender if he won this and another fight due to COVID, like last minute replacement stuff. He could have been a possible contender, but I'm part of make a stretch on that. But hey, man, that's his opponent was better than the opponent hook clean Doku, whoever. I'm probably got the fighters mixed up. The guy who did that spinning jump kick knockout. That dude. I might have been calling a 145er. Shit. I don't know. Fuck. Buckley or whatever. Yeah, I think. I think, yeah, Holland's KO win was more impressive because of the opponent he knocked out and how he knocked him out. So yeah, I had to give it to Holland. What other knockouts were there? Shit. Oh, Cody Garbrandt. Yeah, that one is up there too. That was a good knockout. Like the last minute, and just like I could watch that clip all day. Cody Garbrandt knocking out dude's name, Sun Sao, whatever. That was a good knockout. Good win. Goldie desperately needed, but I think Sun Sao is I don't know if Cody beats any other top guys. Like, I don't know. Like Cody, his chin, his style, like Sun Sao is just like Sun Sao slow, and he's way smaller than Cody. Like that reach is so hard for Sun Sao to get inside Cody. Like all these other fighters, I don't think Cody could get away like that. Like, Cody, yeah, most athletic, one of the most athletic guys in UFC. Fastest, one of the fastest guys in UFC. One of the most powerful, but like, he just got glass jaw, and like his defensiveness, like I don't know if he fixed up his defense. Like that Dominic Cruz fight, that fight might have been like I don't know if Dominic Cruz is 100%, and all those injuries, that's not the same Dominic Cruz would be Uriah Faber for the title. That's not the same Dominic Cruz who beat DJ Dillashaw. Although I think DJ Dillashaw beat Dominic Cruz. I gave it to DJ Dillashaw. But yeah, that's not the same Dominic Cruz. And yeah, I don't know if Cody could get away with those. Like, I like Cody. But sometimes he's just too reckless. And it's like, what the fuck, man? And frankly, I don't think he gets away with that. Just kick, run, run, run. I don't think he could do that with the other guys. Like, I'm like 50-50 with him and Sean O'Malley. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's one of the knockouts of the year. And then, man. Oh, yeah, Sean O'Malley. He should have been on that low derail I was talking about. Hype train derail. Well, Tony, Santos, and Reyes aren't hype train, but whatever, like, who had, like, the fall. I don't, because O'Malley's not, like, as bad as theirs, because he's not even, like, a top 10. Those guys are title contenders, so yeah, their fall hurts more, but hype train derail. O'Malley, yeah. O'Malley got another leg injury. And he got TKO. He got finished. It looked like he was out when Chito landed those elbows. And people complaining about early stoppage or like not going to the second round, like Mally would had it worse, gone to the second round. So yeah. And then let's just talk about UFC COVID. Yeah, like I kind of like the changes. Like, who at first I did not like without the fans. It was kind of weird. Like the Tony fight, I would have liked it more had there been more fans at the time. But then, like after an event or two, like I just love no fans, man. All that like pa pa pa. You can hear all those shots. You can hear the corner advice. It's like, oh man, you know. It's kind of like, it's just like watching MMA Japan, man. Like without COVID, like with COVID or without, like, you know, with the COVID, it's like watching MMA Japan with the fans. It's like they're so silent. It's like the same. It's like you're watching UFC COVID. It's like, damn. I just love all the shots and the cornering advice. That's pretty nice. How did COVID affect MMA training camps? I'm sure, you know, it's not as good. They're limited on training partners, and yeah, it benefits some fighter in a way that, you know, like say, fuck, like, I don't know, fuck it, man, whatever. MMA, COVID, shit. Fuck, man. I might just end this shit here, but yeah, sorry, man. This is not planned. Just last minute live stream since I got good internet and a webcam over here in the office. So yeah, this is my 2020 MMA UFC recap. I think I might be missing some stuff in here, but oh well. Submission of the year, top of my head. I don't want to say, I'm not going to say Chase Hooper, but hey, man. That's a comeback one. That's more like a comeback. I don't want to call that a submission of the year. Chase Hooper. Oh, yeah. News. Big time news. UFC cuts. Yeah. when Yo got cut, that was a big news, and 60 people getting cut in 2021. Yeah, it's all those guys getting cut, man. Like, I think Chris Wyman, Cowboy, Diego, Mike Perry. If they cut Yell, they're gonna cut a lot of these guys. Shogun, all these guys are getting cut. Yeah, I don't know. I just gotta end this here now. Peace out.